Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. Someone help me. That was what I heard as I lay on the ground in excruciating pain. The transition from a rural surrounding to urban was quite difficult in many aspects. Inner city youth with too much free time and few recreational centers hardly have a good outcome. As the new kid on the block, I felt I could not back down from anything, no matter how morally wrong it felt or how bloody the situation could turn out. Going against my morals resulted in a bloody bike accident. When I was younger, my family had moved from our home state of Virginia to the north side of Wilmington, Delaware. The only familiar faces I had were my older sister Trina, a fighter, my little sister Alicia, the baby, and my mother. We moved because my mother's childhood friend Tia had convinced my mom to leave Virginia with her and move to Delaware. Tia was like an aunt to me and her son was like a cousin to me. But they soon moved back to Virginia and my mom decided to stay. With a country accent, I thought it would be hard to make new friends. While we were adjusting to not seeing family, making new friends, and getting used to school life, my mom decided to move to the west side of Wilmington during the summer of 2005 in order to keep me and my older sister out of trouble. Moving to Wilmington while school had started already was one thing, although moving to another side of the city during the summer gave way for new things. After a few days on the new side of town, I met a new kid named Sean when I was walking to the store. We were alike in the sense that we both moved around. Sean was born in New York, spent time in Maryland, and then moved to Delaware. The difference between Sean and I was that he had no problem fighting while I would try to defuse the situation first, despite the fact that we could both handle our own. We would become close. Through Sean, I met most of my other friends on that side of town from being on the block before school started in the fall, something I could not do on the north side. We all lived on a hill. The hill was a section of the west side, above West 4th Street, and after a section known as Down Bottom. One very hot weekend, my mother traveled to Ohio with her Hands of Destiny Deaf Choir. My older sister and I had freedom like we never had before. With the temperature, my friends and I could not play basketball under the bridge, and we were not allowed in the recreational center at the time. To pass the time and boredom, we decided to get pellet guns from the flea market in a section of Westside called Browntown. Everyone except my friend Calvin, a guy who likes to joke but was into the streets, rode on stolen bikes. Calvin had his skates. I was not too fond of stealing, but as the newest kid, I did not want to say no. We got to the flea market but were not allowed to buy any pellet guns without proper identification to show we were of age. Although it was a wasted trip, we enjoyed the ride. We all raced back to create our own breeze on that hot day. On our way back from the flea market, most of us cut through Rocky Park and went down Rocky Hill. Rocky Hill is a huge hill that is steep, has very big rocks, and has a sidewalk that curves like an elongated letter S instead of going straight. Everyone except Calvin went down the hill, and I was last. Calvin had to go around because he had on skates. Speeding down the sidewalk, my handlebars locked up and the bike went into the grass. I had a chance to jump off, but I was too scared and held on tight for impact with the raised sidewalk. The bike with no shock absorbers hit the sidewalk and I flew in the air. While I was in the air, everything was red, slow, and muted. I looked around and saw my friend Calvin laughing hysterically in the Heisman Trophy pose, pointing at me. Boom! I hit the sidewalk and rolled down the hill into the grass. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. Someone help me. That was all I could hear. I could not see the blood at first. I imagined from the way the lady was screaming I was dying and started to cry. I was messed up and could not understand why. I was bleeding from my legs, my hip, both shoulders, my elbows, and from my forearm, which left a mark I will forever have. It is a blessing I did not hit my head on first impact with the ground. Once I was taken care of, I understood what happened. It was karma kicking my butt. If I was riding my own bike, I would have known that riding too fast would make the handlebars lock up. The same day we stole this bike was the same day I fell. Before this incident, I tried stealing once before. I failed and got kicked out the store, but I did not let it get to me. This time I succeeded with stealing and got what I deserved. To this day, no matter the benefit to myself, I never take anything that does not belong to me.